Hi LEGO fans! Hufflepuffs rejoice as today's lesson is being hosted by none other than Head of Hufflepuff House, Professor Pomona Sprout. This is the third of 4 videos featuring the Hogwarts Moment sets which recreate iconic scenes from the first 2 Harry Potter movies. We've already had Transfiguration with Minerva McGonagall and a dose of double potions with Snivelous Snape. But today, don't neglect those earmuffs, as we're going to be unboxing, speed building, and reviewing set number 76384 Hogwarts Moment Herbology Class from LEGO Harry Potter. This set is based on the scene in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets when the second years encounter Mandrakes, magical creatures which emit an annoying noise rivaled only by Mariah Carey. The 233-piece part count includes 3 exclusive minifigures. We've got a HP269 Cedric Diggory who strangely did not appear in this moment. Next we have Head of Hufflepuff, a HP270 Professor Pomona Sprout, and a HP271 Neville Longbottom with unmistakably unconscious secondary facial expression. Of the 4 Hogwarts Moment sets, this has the lowest part count. There's a 14% deficit compared to Snape's 76383 Potions class, which had 271 pieces. Like the other Hogwarts Moment sets, this fits neatly inside a book emblazoned with the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry crest. Over on the back of the box we can see how it looks when unfolded and set up for Herbology Class. We have everything you could need for repotting Mandragora or even harvesting some leaves from the venomous tentacula. As always, we're reminded that the range includes 4 sets to collect, and these can be combined as I'll demonstrate in the final video. Gather round everybody and let's check out what's inside the box. So here's what we get for our $30 US, 30 euros or 28 Great British quid. We've got 2 numbered bags of Lego, an 82-page instruction booklet, a front and a back cover, not really in Hufflepuff colours, and curse you LEGO, the dreaded sticker sheet. I'm going to go ahead and build Professor Sprout's Herbology class, and today this is going to be a 60-second speed build! And here is a completed 76384 Hogwarts Moment Herbology class from LEGO Harry Potter. Build time today was 35 minutes, and as usual with these sets, the stickering got pretty old pretty fast. I'm still not sure why they put Cedric Diggory in the minifigure lineup, other than the fact he's a Hufflepuff and one of Professor Sprout's favourite students. We'll take a look at the minifigures later in the video and see how they compare to their on-screen counterparts. The exterior of the book, whilst very nicely decorated, is pretty much the same thing we got in the other sets. On the front cover we have the Hogwarts crest with the 4 house animals, a courageous lion for Gryffindor, soaring eagle for Ravenclaw, slippery servant for Slytherin, and a badger which represents Professor Sprout's house, Hufflepuff. We also have the school motto, Draco Dormiens Nunquam Titilandus, which reminds us never to tickle a sleeping dragon. Other symbols on the front of the book include a rake and a trowel, perfect for herbology, and some plant that I couldn't possibly identify. It's possible it might be gillyweed. The flora at the bottom of the book is easier to identify. This is clearly a young mandrake, that must be a leaping toadstool, and this thing that looks like a thistle may just be a shrivel fig. In each corner of the book we find decorative quarter circles, and you'll notice the front and back covers for the book are new elements designed for the Moments range. The spine of the book is nicely finished with no exposed studs, and a single sticker with suitable symbology for herbology. The back of the book is much less interesting and has no printing. We just get these anti-studs which will come in very useful when we put all 4 books together. There are no pages to speak of because we have to make up our own story, but you can see that we have a whole lot of stuff hidden away inside the book. Let's see how this story unfolds. Good morning everyone, welcome to Greenhouse 3 second years. Today we're going to repot Mandrakes. I'm so impressed how LEGO managed to pack all of this away inside the book. We've got a lot to take a look at, so let's clear out the clutter so we can get to the detail. Unfortunately, when it comes to detail, it often means a lot of stickers. The Herbology greenhouses sit in a courtyard at Hogwarts, and as you can see, some of the plant life is starting to take over the castle walls. You'll also notice these stickers are in recessed panels, which makes them great fun to apply. Further up we have an unidentified character hanging out of the window. I'm pretty sure I've seen a ghost that looks just like this. Maybe it's one of the mad monks, maybe it's Peeves, who knows? Giving us some sense of the exterior of the greenhouse is this fold out panel. There does appear to be quite a lot less glass than I would expect to see in a greenhouse. As you can see from this overhead shot, greenhouse number 3 was mostly glass. The corners of the greenhouse are movable and incorporate some ventilated windows. The colour scheme is quite varied, but it looks like the greenhouse is made of wood and set on a stone foundation. The green bricks may indicate some mossy growth, and although we don't have an actual roof, it does look like they've got the colour of the roof correct. Greenhouse number 3 is equipped with a working glass door, and we have a sign to remind us that we enter at our own peril. Yes, we have a bunch of angry shouty plant babies inside. I forgot to bring my earmuffs, but I do have some noise cancelling headphones and a supply of batteries, so let's venture inside. Inside the greenhouse is maybe not as exciting as I'd hoped it would be. There is a dark green jumper plate in the window, but no sign of any venomous tentacula. We do have some illumination to brighten things up at night, and all of that scrollwork detail. As we get deeper into the greenhouse, we come to some of the more interesting stuff. Here we find a potting bench with what looks like Professor Sprout's lesson plan. This seems to have instructions for harvesting mandrake roots, which are stewed to make mandrake restorative draft. Stuck to the panel behind the bench, we have yet another sticker showing lots of greenery. We even have some actual LEGO elements, which if I'm not mistaken could be Devil's Snare. Once the lesson is over, the potting bench folds neatly away. Next to the bench we have a decorative cupboard with working doors. I really like the decorative panel, which could easily be a vent for the greenhouse's heating system. Now of course, when presented with a cupboard, it would be rude not to take a peek inside. It looks like Professor Sprout is using a cupboard to store textbooks. Like the other Moment sets, we have a spellbook which includes one of these exclusive 1x2 tiles. This seems to include some information about the Mandrake, although that does look similar in shape to a bowtruckle. Peering into the cupboard we can see some of the sticker that sits behind. Hoarded here we find handy horticultural items such as fertiliser and some extra pots. Quite what's going on above the cupboard I really don't know. I guess this is just meant to be decorative. Adding to the decorative features, we get some of these really nice silver ingots. Pomona Sprout's affiliation to Hufflepuff House is made clear by this overgrown Hufflepuff crest. Finally, in the corner near the door we have even more goodies for gardening. We have a garden spade which I really dig, some supports which resemble bamboo, and a pot containing a tiny seedling. Is that you, baby Groot? We also have some more lighting, and this is adjustable. In the centre of the greenhouse above the door we have some more decorative features, including another one of those fancy panels and a couple of decorative scrolls. The really nice thing about these sets is that everything can be folded up inside the book, but that is not all. Oh no, that is not all. We also have a bunch of gardening guff to complete the scene. Even magical plants need a drink from time to time, and this is the perfect place to fill a pail of water. As well as a pail complete with handle, we also get a really nice gold faucet element. Should there be any spillage, the overflowing water will flow into the drain where I'm sure it's collected and recycled. As we've come to expect with these sets, the watering station fits neatly inside the book. Notice how a gap is left so everything closes together nicely. Appreciating the water supply, we have a small vegetable patch. Fitting in with the magical theme, we have 2 of these pumpkins, some of these green herbaceous seedlings, and ridged planters containing some olive green foliage. Usually we attach stuff to the studs on the top of the plate, but in this case they're mounted on the anti-studs underneath. When we're done tending to the vegetable patch, it stores neatly away at the top of the book. Now of course there is one very important plant we've not taken a look at yet. Allow me to introduce Mandragora, otherwise known as Mandrake. The term Mandrake actually refers to the root of a plant from the genus Mandragora. This Mandrake is printed on a cylindrical element complete with leaves. It's quite an ugly little thing, and in fairness, Mandrakes do have a face only a mother could love. But any creature that takes a chunk out of Draco Malfoy's finger gets a thumbs up from me. Mandrakes contain deliriant hallucinogenic tropane alkaloids. They've long been associated with superstitious practices and magic rituals, hence their place in Harry Potter. We also saw LEGO Mandrakes in set number 5378 Hogwarts Castle in 2007. I've got to say, I much prefer the older version of the Mandrake. This little guy just isn't quite as impressive. My auditory protection is starting to fail, so let's dunk it down in the other pot and pour a little sprinkling of soil to keep him warm. But of course there's more to this set than a few panes of glass and some plants. We also have a multitude of magnificent minifigures. A HP269 Cedric Diggory, HP270 Professor Pomona Sprout, and HP271 Neville Longbottom. Starting with the odd one out, this is the HP269 Cedric Diggory. We didn't see a Cedric Diggory minifigure until 2018, and now we're up to our 4th iteration. Now clearly this set is based on the lesson about Mandrakes in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. However, my boy Cedric Diggory doesn't make an appearance until 2005 in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and we all know how that worked out. My boy! As we expect with Wizarding World minifigures, Cedric comes with a wand. 12¼ inch, ash with a unicorn hair core, I believe. Cedric is also rocking a really cool pair of Beats. These headphones were first introduced in Monkey Kid sets, but they are new here in dark tan. Also new and currently exclusive to this set are the tan hips with medium legs. The torso print is exclusive and shows Cedric wearing the coveralls they wear in the Herbology greenhouses. These are very useful for keeping soil off the students' robes. There's more printing around the back which shows creases and the neckline. Like any serious gardener, Cedric is wearing gloves to protect his pedicure from the soil. Taking a closer look at the facial print, the designers did a good job of capturing the likeness of Shovelface. The main problem is those eyes. Look into the eyes, look into the eyes, don't look around the eyes, look into the eyes. As you can see, the white is misprinted, which seems to be a common problem with these 2021 minifigures. Turning to the alternate expression, we have a fierce look. Fierce it may be, but it didn't stop you getting zapped, did it, Cedric? I did have a good trawl through the movies, but I never saw Cedric wearing this outfit. Here's the minifigure compared to a slightly older Cedric Diggory. The likeness is good even if the costume is completely wrong. There's no doubt this is a very good looking Cedric Diggory minifigure, I'm just not sure why he's in this set. Knowing me, I've missed something obvious and the comments are about to blow up. Moving swiftly on, this is Herbology Professor and Head of Hufflepuff House, Pomona Sprout. This is the 3rd version of the minifigure. Professor Sprout was first introduced in the 4867 Hogwarts set from 2011. She was later reprised and updated for the collectible minifigures series. The minifigure has a pair of dual moulded legs which were previously used in the LEGO Ideas Dinosaur Fossils set. I much prefer the printed skirt we got with the collectible minifigures series 2 version. She also carries a wand, but the wood core and length are all a mystery. The printed torso is an exclusive to this minifigure and is much more screen accurate. I really like the decoration around the neck, including those berries. The back of the torso is also printed and includes some really interesting details. The lining has moon and star symbols, and there's some really nice botanical patterns in the lace frills. The other detail I like is the dirt on the lower half of the print, although I suspect this is just a way to hide the fact that the legs don't match. The facial expression is a really nice likeness for the character and shows an almost harassed Pomona Sprout. The alternate expression is my favourite of the two and shows her with quite a nice smile. Perhaps she caught a glimpse of Malfoy getting his finger chomped by a Mandrake. The facial print is new and at the time of filming exclusive to this minifigure. Not exclusive is the hat and hair element. This was actually used for the collectible minifigures series 2 version of the character. It's a really nice dual moulded piece made of dark tan and grey for the hair. As you can see here, we have built-in earmuffs for auditory protection and a really nice crooked hat here kind of curving towards the front, which is super nicely moulded. The overall likeness of the minifigure to the character in the movie is very good. Although we get a new face and a new torso, I don't think this is a significant step forward from the collectible minifigure in Series 2. Finally, we have the son of original Order of the Phoenix members, Frank and Alice. This is the HP271 Neville Longbottom. He's a keen herbologist and later goes on to teach alongside Professor Sprout at Hogwarts. As such, one of his accessories is this set of pruning shears. His wand is made of cherry and manufactured by Garrick Ollivander with a unicorn hair core. Cedric and Neville do have a lot of similarities which will save us some time. The key difference from the neck down is the length of the legs. Neville, in only his second year at Hogwarts, has the small child-sized legs. The torso print, snazzy brown gloves, and neglected auditory protection are all the same as Cedric's. The facial expression is a spitting image of the young Neville Longbottom, complete with those goofy teeth. Uh-oh, looks like Longbottom's been neglecting his earmuffs. No ma'am, he's just fainted. Ah well, just leave him there. Yes, that's right, Professor Sprout, don't check his pulse or make sure he's still breathing or anything. A Mandrake's cry is fatal to anyone who hears it, but thankfully our Mandrakes are seedlings and they won't kill you yet. Whilst Longbottom may have been neglecting his earmuffs, LEGO has not been neglecting the detail. As you can see, the likeness of the minifigure to the character in the movie is very good. Of the three minifigures, I think Neville has to be my favourite. I love that passed out expression. Pomona Sprout is a really nice minifigure, but not a major improvement over the previous version. It's also really nice to get a Cedric, but I just question whether he should be in this scene. So that was set number 76384, Hogwarts Moment Herbology Class from LEGO Harry Potter. I'm not sure this is my favourite of the 4 Hogwarts Moment sets. After all, it is based on Hufflepuff. But there's plenty of detail here, and as always, I love the way this folds up inside the book. The stickering, as always, was pretty laborious, and having 2 stickers back to back in the same place on the door was pretty evil. I really like the selection of plants and the way these took away at the top of the book. The minifigure selection was good, but not great. With 3 out of 4 sets reviewed, I think the ones from the Transfiguration class are my favourite so far. I've certainly enjoyed playing with this, learning about Mandrakes, and I apologise for showing dead Cedric too many times. My boy! If you enjoyed the review as much as I did making it, then a thumbs up is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more Harry Potter goodness. In the final Hogwarts Moments review, it's time for Charms with Professor Filius Flitwick. I believe it's pronounced Wingardium Leviosa. As well as a tour of the Charms classroom, we'll be checking out each one of these sets combined together. It is going to be awesome! Thanks a million for checking out today's review, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next build video.